Yet. Okay, hello. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Easy Pastel Colors Landscape Painting today. Today. Tonight. Okay, so I'm Luba Carlson. I'm the host of this group and I will be the teacher. And I'm always the teacher in this group. Um, let's see, I usually give it a few minutes for everybody to catch on. This is the painting that we're going to be painting tonight. So in the comments, say hello. Hi, Linda and Virginia. Hi, ladies. Okay, hit a couple of those just to help Facebook spread the news, because when it sees that we really feel this way about what we're seeing, it starts pushing the notifications even in the group. Hello. Okay, we have somebody from Tyler, Texas. So if you did not grant StreamYard permission to show me your name, this is what I see. It says Facebook user. So it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I just don't want you to feel weird that I'm not calling you by name, but I'm just saying somebody said. Okay, this is why. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm painting on Grumbaker paper. When I teach, that's my kind of usual go-to if you wanted to know what I'm painting on. Hi, Angelica from Orlando. Good evening. Hello, Canada. Hello, Seattle. Hello, Rome. Hello, Utah. Sherry, welcome. I know, like, it's hard to catch lives, right? Thank God for replays. they make my life so much easier when I try to learn something. Like, I can never do it live. I always do replays. Always watch replays on my time. Okay, so I just use acrylic paper. You can also use watercolor paper if you have it. You can use your canvas. You can paint this on the board. Just make sure that you're painting on a primed surface. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I just picked this up. I don't know if it will work well. It's acrylic, it's artist tape. I just picked it up today because I have to try new things and see if that even was a good choice, because having good supplies means a lot to me. I think it makes a whole big difference in what happens, right? So I like to glue my, not to glue, I'm sorry. I like to tape my paper to my acrylic board. This way I'm not worried about edges. My edges will come out nice and clean. And also, if I need to turn my painting, I can turn the base. I don't need to touch the paper. Okay. Hello, Myrtle Beach. Hello, White Rock. Oh, somebody else from Canada. Okay, so we are just giving it a couple more minutes for Facebook to send notification to everybody who marked themselves going on the event, and then Facebook will send that to them so they would know that we are live and they need to join the class because they wanted to, right? Okay, so we're going to be mixing some paint today. That is something that I just love to do in a class like this. Yeah, this is good enough. Okay, so we're going to see how this Blick artist tape works for us today. We're gonna find out if it's good or not so good. Another person from Canada, North Bay this time. Wow, lots of people from Canada today. Alrighty, so here's the supplies that we're going to be using. I'm going to be using my paper plates for mixing paint for my palettes. I have paper towels, rinsing water. You don't need to see that. I will be using my filbert brush. Well, here, filbert brush, and it's pretty broken. Hold on, my camera moved a little bit, and so I'm a little bit out of. It's pretty broken, and that's how I want it for the trees. A broken flat. I think it said it's number 2. It's rather small. If you have a number 2, maybe number 4, that would be great. For trees, if you have a fan brush, that's great. If you don't have a fan brush, you can still do this with like maybe an older flat or a filbert. Like there's ways you can do that. So don't get nervous if you do not have a fan brush. I know that not everybody has a fan brush in their stash. I like to use my small palette knife for mixing paint. I will be using a pencil to show you how to create the sketch for this painting. What else are we gonna need? I don't think there's anything else we're going to need. So, without further ado, as they say it, right? Hello, San Diego. I'm just gonna turn my desk view so that that's all you see. You don't really need a talking head on your screen. It's good to just have the view of the desk, right? And again, click this button so that Facebook would send notifications in the group to people who are in the group to know that we're live. Okay, let's talk paint colors. So we're gonna be mixing colors to create this, right? So this is pretty cool tone. This is kind of warmer, but it's still pretty cool tone. This is a little bit warmer. So I'm going to pull out my white, since these are pastel colors, there's going to be quite a bit of white in them. Okay, and then I'm going to put sky blue on here. And I'm going to grab some lemon yellow. That's my cooler colors. And magenta. You know, I think I can never. I think magenta is considered a cool color. I'm not seeing it, but people say that it's a cool color. Okay, whatever, right? And then the primary red or true red, which is a warmer. I don't know. As I look at it, to me, it's all backwards, but I could be wrong. And later we'll need black, but not right now. We'll need it later. Okay. Hi, Melanie. Hi, everybody. All right. So first step is to mix our colors. So let me push this off to the side and put this next to it so that we kind of have an idea. They do not have to be absolutely the same colors. I kind of used this chartreuse green, very kind of rouge, kind of makeup really pink, and some orange, right? And then this color is white mixed with this pink. So let's try and make the green first. And the green is made out of blue and yellow. So let's just do that. And I will tell you that you do not want a lot of blue in that, okay? So I'm going to use my palette knife. I'm going to grab some yellow. And I'm doing this on a separate one because I want you to see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so roughly 3-4 parts of yellow, 1 part of sky blue, lemon yellow. That's important because if you use warm yellow, primary yellow, your green will come out different. It's not going to be as light. Look at us. Perfect. This is perfect. Okay, wipe it off. You can do this with a brush if you prefer. Clean it up on a paper towel. Just like that. And then grab some white, probably about a part, 1 part, to get us into this yummy, juicy green. Now, if you would like it to be more pastel, you want to add a little bit more white to this, but I think I'm pretty happy with this. Here's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because a few years back when I just started painting, and I would really rely upon YouTube tutorials, I really got tired of having to buy a set of new paints for every painting. So I decided, you know what, we need to learn how to mix colors and just mix our own. It's like a lot easier, don't you think? Okay, so now we're going to mix the pink, and that would be my magenta. A good amount of magenta. Let's say 4 parts magenta. And let's just throw 1 part of white in it. I'm going to clean this up a little. And just pick up 1 nice part of white, see what happens. I painted this one quite a bit ago. I do not remember. I do not remember what I mixed. So this is a whole different pink that I'm getting here. Maybe that was red and white. Well, let's see. I think that was red and white. I kind of like this pink. What do you guys think? Now add some more white to this. I think I'm gonna grab 1 part of red and put it into here as well and see. Oh yeah, that's exactly, yes. Okay, so what I have here is 4 parts magenta, 2 parts white, and 1 part primary red. If that helps. I know that it's hard to remember these things, so I'm gonna say again, for the green, we used 4 parts of sky blue. No, sorry, backwards. 4 parts of lemon yellow, 1 part of sky blue, 2 parts of white. And for the pink, we have 4 magenta, 1 red, and 2 whites. Okay. Yes, and so I don't start every lesson with paint mixing, with color mixing, but very often I do that just before we start because I want you to have fun and not have to spend a whole lot of money just buying paints that are just going to sit on your shelf because you're not going to use that tone for a long time. Okay, let's do orange. Orange is going to be a lot of, let's probably be 4 parts of lemon yellow. And so I get to use all of my lemon yellow. And I'm gonna do just half a part, and it's all eyeballing, right? It's not like exact science, of primary red. If you just put a lot of red in there, if you start mixing orange starting with your red, you're gonna have to use a whole lot of yellow. So just like with green, it makes sense to start with yellow and then add a little bit of blue. With orange, it makes sense to start with yellow and add a little bit of red to it, so that we don't end up wasting a lot of paint. And I think we're gonna do 2 parts of white to this. Just kind of. Ooh, yummy. Beautiful color. Probably not as intense orange as I have it on the other picture, on my on the reference, but I think it's a great color, and it will give us great contrast for everything else. Okay, so we have mixed our color palette. I'm gonna wipe off my palette knife before it dries up and it becomes a paint to clean. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wow. Hello. Who's from Australia? I can't see your names, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm so stoked. Every time I hear people telling me where they're from, it's like, wow. Canada, Australia, unbelievable. States, Texas, Wisconsin. Lots of people from everywhere. All right, now let's create our sketch. So for this particular painting, I like to make my sketch upside down. So if you have if you're working on a canvas or like recycled something, and you have a hanging closure on it or some sort of thing that's on the back to hang, and you need it in a certain position, yes, set up your canvas in a way where the top is on the right side where it needs to be. Grab your pencil and put a small letter T in the corner. Small letter T in the corner, so you know where your top corner is, where your top side is. Okay. And if you're just painting a regular canvas, well, then you're fine. Okay, so we're gonna flip this upside down. And first, we're gonna draw the sun somewhere in this corner over here. It doesn't need to be huge. If you feel more comfortable tracing something, then trace something. I'm just gonna grab a bottle. I have a bottle here. Just gonna put it right here. I'm sure we all have paint bottles around us. There, that's the sun. Hello, Philippines, and Canada again, and Tennessee, and Michigan. Oh my goodness, you guys are from everywhere. Okay. Now, now we're gonna draw our mountains, and the mountains are gonna be inverted. Okay, we're doing that upside down because it's easier to do shaky lines when you drag your hand down rather than push it up. Okay, So I'm gonna grab my spot about an inch off the top, and I'm gonna go down and then back up. And that's gonna be my first hill. Okay. Then I'm gonna look, where would I, well, maybe from here. I'm gonna go down and back up. That's my other hill. Okay. Next spot here, maybe like that. It doesn't have to be anything specific or crazy, okay? The only thing we want to make sure is that we don't put the mountain on the sun. So kind of hold your hand here so that you will work around it. And maybe, sure, why not? Here's another one. And now I'm going to turn this around. And I have my hills. Okay, so I check and see if this is cool. I think I like this very much. And we're going to flip it around again, upside down. Upside down. And we're going to decide on our colors, what goes where, okay? So we have just 3 here. We have only 3 to play. What I like to do is I like to grab the wrong side of my brush and mark. This mountain is going to be orange. You can choose any color you like. Doesn't have to be orange. You can make it pink or green. Just make sure that your colors are different as they go up. This mountain is going to be pink. This mountain is going to be green. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Hold on. Hold on. That's what I did. I needed to go from the sky down because the sky needs to be orange. Hold on. Let's change that. Sorry about that. The sky needs to be orange. There. Then this one can be green. Then this one needs to be pink. Am I making sense? Okay. Just lift. It's fine. It'll paint over it. Now this one is orange again. And then that one, your choice, pink or green. I'm going to make this green this time. There. Okay, I apologize for that. But this will all paint over. It will be fine. So I'm going to use my filbert here, just because I like, it's easier for me to paint wiggly lines here. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my green and start painting. The bottom mountain that's actually on the top of my painting right now. It's going to be the first coat. And I know that we'll have to go back and paint the second coat later, and that's fine. And that's it here. Rinse my brush. Grab my orange for my next mountain. And just paint the next mountain orange. Try not to run the colors together. Keep them on the mountain. Rinse, rinse. Now I'm gonna do my pink. Okay, there's my pink. Back to green for the top one. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about every line being perfect because everything's gonna get outlined with black. Either Posca marker. Oh, looks like I picked up a crumb of orange. That's okay. Either a Posca pen or you can use a liner brush to do that. Hi, Marlene. No problem. Oh, I'm sorry, Marlene. Let's go with Marlene. I hope I'm saying your names right when I see them, because I do have that. Okay, now let's paint the sky, and I am going to try and not paint the sun. So I'm gonna paint around the sun. I'm gonna leave it white. Okay. There is a lot to fill in here. A lot of space. But, you know, just relax and do it. This is a very stress-free, relaxing kind of very easy painting. I think the most complicated part about this painting is picking up your color palette and sticking to it and not adding any more colors, right? All right. So now, while I still have orange on my paintbrush, I'm gonna put the second coat on my orange mountain. It's still pretty warm and pretty dry here in Omaha, so my paint dries super quickly. Sometimes it's a benefit, sometimes it's not. I guess right now it's a benefit, right? Okay. Gonna go back into the sky and just add the second coat. We just want it flat, so try to avoid having brush marks. Just kind of use your light hand as you apply your second coat. Use light hand and try to blend it all in nicely so there isn't much of visible brush strokes. For this kind of background, we don't want brush strokes. We want everything pretty flat. And as you can see, I'm avoiding water. I'm not adding a whole lot of water to my brush, if any. Really not adding any water at all. Because I'm working with craft quality paint. And it's pretty runny as it is. If you're working with artist quality or higher quality paints, then you probably know to add some moisture to your paint to make it glide smoothly. Because yeah, that is a challenge of its own, right? Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush and I'm gonna turn around my painting. Like my brush clean. Okay. Okay, back to filbert. Blot it down on your paper towel gently, right? Don't ruin your brush, not worth it. Okay, let's get some green and paint a second coat of green. The benefit of painting on paper is, of course, that it's cheaper, right? And it's easier to store, it's flat. The downside, it does buckle up still a little bit when it's wet, and it soaks up the moisture out of the first coat of paint. It's thirsty. Sometimes I would wet it, but I didn't want to wet it this time to avoid having to put 3 coats of paint. Didn't want to do that. Okay, make sure there's no brush marks. Well, you just want it flat, nothing, just flat coat. Okay. And now this side. And then when I'm done with this green, then I will add the second coat to my pink side. There we go. Kind of like this. Don't overthink it, because most of it is really gonna get covered, right? We're gonna cover it with trees. But maybe you would like to add fewer trees, not as many. Okay, someone's asking me, do you ever use gesso on your paper before you start? Not for this kind of stuff, not for lessons. I don't. If I do some, I know that it's going to be something heavy and there's going to be lots and lots and lots of coats, then maybe I would. But honestly, no, not usually. Because once it's dry, it will all dry flat. It will all be flat again. So, and I'm just sharing what's happening here. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Okay, I see somebody's asking me how to get back to the beginning. Unfortunately, you'll have to wait for replay to be ready. I don't think you can. I don't know, maybe try to drag this little runner that you have on the bottom of your video. Maybe if you drag that all the way back to the beginning, maybe it will do that for you. But I don't usually have luck doing that while I watch other people's lives. Usually have to wait until they're done and then you can watch the beginning. Now, if for any reason you cannot finish this, or you just wanted to, take a peek and you have to run, replays are always available. I post them on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and then I add them to the corresponding guide, the one that had the supply list for tonight. It will have the video replay in it. Eventually. Okie doke. Look at us. Cleaning my brush. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab some white from my first palette over here. And I'm using that broken, as I showed you, number 2 flat brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit of this pink, put it in with this white, make paler pink. Then I'm gonna grab some of this orange and add to the mix. So we're pretty much creating a color using the colors that we used already. Okay, so now this is going to be the sun. Just going to paint the sun. Oh, hi, Sandra. Welcome. All right. So I'm wiping this brush on my paper towel. I do not want to add any more water to this. Gonna grab some more white. Put it right next to this new pink that we just created. Okay. And we're gonna create horizontal lines for the two clouds. And if you would like to have your cloud going above, like into being in front of your mountain, I'm showing you something that you can see here, then you will drag your line into the mountain. Okay. If you don't want that, well, then don't do that and just put your clouds on top. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab with this small brush, grab some white, grab a little bit of this pink, two colors on the brush, and I think I'm gonna start right here. That's gonna be my cloud number one. Again, white and pink on the brush. And then I'm gonna do my cloud number two that goes into the sun a little bit like this. Now, if you're not comfortable drawing a line like this, what you can do, you can grab printer paper or you can grab your paper towel, anything works, paper towel. Just fold it. Make sure the background is dry, right? Just line it up and that's your pretty much your straight line here, right? And so you can just follow this line and then lift it. Okay. Now let's grab some more of this pink, some more of this white, and just start building up the cloud. More pink. Some more white. Clouds are essentially a mix of highlights and shadows. So as long as we're working with the two colors, just stay put with just keep using the white and the pink. Don't overwork it so that they're still airy. Okay. Put a little bit more white on the top in some areas and here and there. You know, if you want them to be a little bit more like stormy clouds, you can always darken them on the bottom a little bit. I did not want to do that. I did not want to do that. So I just really like this cloud. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, gonna clean up this brush. And the next step is going to be us outlining the mountains. So if you have the Posca pen, the black Posca pen, this is like the best here because you want the same line, pretty controlled line. If you do not have that, you can use the a Sharpie. I hope it shouldn't bleed. Sharpies are waterproof. Or you can use a liner pen and just outline. I like to turn it so that I can see what I'm doing. And stop by the cloud, jump over the cloud, stop by the next mountain. If it's easier, do it upside down, turn the painting upside down, but be mindful of your clouds. And honestly, you know, if you just wanted to stop right here, right, it already looks like quite something. This could be the whole painting and you wouldn't need to do anything else. But that's not the way we work here. So we're gonna add the trees. So you can add a lot of trees like I did, or you can add just a few, just a couple. It's up to you. I just put black paint on my palette. And you know what? I'm gonna go and look for my larger broken brush. I know I have it. Probably, I think it's this one. No, I think this one is a little bit. Because I want to, so here's what I want to do. I want to show you guys that you can paint this, you don't have to have the fan brush. You can just do this with your flat brushes or filberts. I've seen a lot of tutorials where people use filbert brush to paint their pine trees. And also I've seen, of course, Bob Ross, who uses the fan brush to do the trees. So whatever works, right? It's all good. So I'm trying to think if I should maybe show you both on two different trees. Let's just do that. It's a demo, so whatever works. So I have a little bit larger size. It's a medium flat. It says it's number 10. It's broken. You see how the bristles, they will not stay together flat like they should for a flat brush. And that's very good. And I don't mind that. It's an old brush. So sometimes I would even go like this on it to get my bristles up like this. Okay. Small broken one and the medium broken. Lots of broken brushes here, right? So I'm going to do two trees for you. I'm going to do one with the flat brush, and then I'm going to do one with the fan brush, so that you can see what's happening. All right. So first step for the flat brush, we're going to grab the small one. Just making sure you can see. Decide where you want your trees to be. So the best idea is to kind of imagine a wave coming from here down and on top, and make sure that, like, if you put more than one tree, really, you do not want them the same height. Okay, so I have 4 heights here. The tallest, like, they're like, and they're changing, so they're not like descending or ascending. They create a little wave that makes it interesting to look at, like this. So let's mark where the tree tops are going to be. So I think my first one is going to be right here. So I'm just going to put a dot. And then I'm going to go lower. And then a little bit higher. And then I'll have my highest tree all the way up here. Wipe off the thing. Okay, get some paint on my brush and just put the straight line down. Messy, ugly straight line. The best way you can. Doesn't, again, if you need, use a ruler. Excuse me, my voice. Excuse me, what's happening? Okay, or you can use, this is how I would use just a paper towel. Just make sure that your edge is lined up with your bottom so that you have a square, and then just follow the side like this, and you'll get the straight down, and then you can move it and kind of line this up with your next tree. Just make sure that your background is dry before you're doing this. And your next tree. Yeah. And then we can just eyeball where it's going on the bottom. Okay. Good. All right. I rinse out the small one, small brush. Okay. So medium or larger, your choice. I'm gonna try and do it with this one. I think it'll work. Just fill up the tips. So your paint only goes on the tip of the brush, not the full brush. Okay. And I'm just gonna do a touch, light touch on the top like this. And then across. So now we have a little cross here. And then I'm gonna go tap, tap to the side. And then go halfway back from where I was and go tap, tap to the side. Go halfway back, and again. Go halfway back, halfway back, halfway back. So you're kind of getting this zigzag kind of thing. You want to hold your brush as flat to your surface as you can. And you want to extend, make your branches longer as you go down. That is a first layer. I like it a little bit darker, so I'm just gonna go and make sure. Okay, so this was my larger brush. I'm gonna rinse it because now I'm going to use my smaller brush, and for the other two trees I'm going to use my fan brush, so you can see both. So you can see all the ways. Or maybe I should use a filbert too. So same way, go in top, set the cross, and then you go down halfway, halfway, halfway. The thing with painting trees like this is that you cannot rush. Do not rush. It's so easy to get into this. Oh, let's do this faster. And I noticed that whenever I try to go faster, I end up being sloppy. And this is not what I want. Right? So slow down, take your time. And even if I go ahead of you and you don't know what to do next, right? Replay will be available. So just take your time and paint. Filbert. Let's try and do this with filbert. We'll go up again and across. Pretty much the same thing. Same thing, just different brushes. Ooh, I like what filbert does here, y'all. I really like filbert. Filbert is the best for me for like when I paint Christmas trees. I love my filbert for that. That makes the best trees. So I noticed that I had a lot of water coming out of this brush, so I just tapped it onto the paper towel and just went back to it. Right? Do you see that, Sandra? Do you like, it's different. It's a different tree. All right, here we go. Fan brush. Just a fan brush. Same thing. Fill up the tips. I like to start with that same kind of cross. And here comes the fan brush. So again, use what you have. Use what you have, okay? Okay, so I'm just assuming that you're working, you picked your brush and that's what you're working with, all right? So when you're done with your first layer of black, excuse me, you will still have some black on your brush. So I'm just gonna put some more black on my brush as if I've been using it, okay? So I have my black, and now the trees are black, Marty. And I'm gonna dip it into my pink a little bit. So this is gonna be a super messy. Why did I do pink? Well, you can do it any color really, but let's do pink. Okay, super kind of dirty, not clean looking pink, and that's what we want because we're gonna start filling in the trees, and we're gonna go sometimes on top of the branches that we already have here, and sometimes on top of like right on the branches that we already painted. Okay, and sometimes we're gonna go above the branches that we painted. Does this make sense? We're adding layers. I like to have between 3 and 5 layers when I paint trees. Okay, so you did your pink, your pink. Then you're gonna wipe it off onto the paper towel, and you're gonna grab your orange onto the same brush, no rinsing. Use the same brush, same technique, same movement. Again, try and go somewhere in between, on top. Don't rush. It's too easy to rush. Just add some color to your tree. Okay, wipe it off. Grab some of that light green that we've made. Add some of that to your tree in some spots. Does it have to be a lot? No. Does not have to be a lot. Okay, clean it up. So I'm just wiping my brush on a paper towel. Grab some white and lightly, super light touch, add a little bit of highlights to your tree. And we have our first tree. The first tree is done. Okay. So I am gonna do the next one with the smaller flat. It's supposed to have some black on it because we didn't rinse it, right? Well, we did rinse it, but we're gonna pretend that we didn't rinse it. So it has some black on it. Grab some pink. Just gonna follow the same way I did this. Okay, some orange on the same brush. Some green. While we're working on this, I'm going to tell you that if you are enjoying the class and you feel inclined to, You could buy me a coffee. You would just have to go to buymeacoffee.com, and if I find my mouse, I will show you. Buymeacoffee.com. Slash Luba Carlson. I know. I can't get my mouse going. Here we are. Where is that link? Here. There. Buymeacoffee.com, Luba Carlson. And it's just $5 to buy me a coffee. And I appreciate it very much, because this doesn't just buy me a coffee, it also allows me to buy my supplies to keep these classes, to keep this group going. Because, as you know, nothing's free anymore, and I have to pay for this out of my pocket. All right. Okay, so I have this tree here. Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. Okay, here we are. Okay, you're very welcome. Somebody said that it was lovely to catch the live. You're very welcome. Okay, so the next tree is our filbert. And you know what? So if you have this, like you see the trunk, right? And if you want it to be a little bit more filled, you can go back, grab some more black, and just fill it in places where you feel that it needs. You look at it and you think, oh boy, that tree needs some branches, right? You can just go back and put them in there. There, see? Just darken up the center. Add a couple more branches here and there, and you're good. Okay, wipe off, grab pink. Let's do the pink. Just make sure to have your brush in this vertical position, like don't turn it, because if you turn it, then you will create branches that look very weird, kind of, in a way, right? All right, let's get some orange. Now let's get some green. Maybe not as much for this one, I don't know. Grab some white for the highlights. Some white for highlights. Okay. Hey, hush. You're fine. Okay, and Of course, we're gonna do one with the finish one with the pen brush. Same way. Same way. Grab some black so that we have some darkening happening here. Wipe it off a little bit. Grab some pink. And just go start applying it to your tree. Okay, so there's my pink. Let's grab some orange. Let's grab some green. Some white. And voila, we have our trees done in 4 different styles. And it's the same tree. 4 different techniques, right? Now, same technique, just different brushes. And so now you can see that you can do that with any brush you have. Okay, I'm gonna try and remove paint without heating it up, because that's new tape, and I wonder, yeah, it feels a little bit, it pulls some, but it's okay. All right, what questions do you have? Let me know. When you're done painting, oh, that's peeling a lot. Oh, I am not happy with that. I'll have to warm this up next time. So let me know if you have any questions. And your painting, make sure to take a picture of it and post it in the group. I approve posts. So you will have to request, right? You just do your regular post and say post, and it will send a request to me automatically. Okay. Because I am looking forward to seeing your painting. I would like to see what came out of your creative adventures, right? Don't forget to grab a pen or a Sharpie or something and sign your painting. So, all right. Hope everybody had fun. And I will see you next time for our next class. I think it's next week something. I don't remember. It's isn't it the pumpkin thing? Who knows? Who remembers? What are we painting next time? Hold on, just give me just a second to click on my events. Really? Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Events. Next one is September 16th, and it's gonna be the pumpkin bouquet. Okay, so September 16th, pumpkin bouquet. I'll see you all there. Bye-bye.